anarchy in the streets right now.
Has been injured. There's rioting. You've started throwing rocks at police.
There's an unjust law is no law at all.
Historic St. John's Church set under fire.
God.
Is this a war going on here?
We're really talking about our future. What type of country do we want to be?
Hello, welcome to Holding the Line, America's Fight for Religious Freedom. I'm Troy Schmidt. We've done a number of interviews with interesting people exploring this topic all around the United States. And our journey probably took us to one of the smallest towns I've ever visited, Rienzi, Mississippi, a little over 30 miles north of Tupelo. What's interesting is how a small little town in the middle of nowhere could find itself in the crosshairs of the Freedom of Religion Foundation in Madison, Wisconsin. And we're going to meet Walter Williams, the mayor of Rienzi, a resident for 65 years, who served in the Marine Corps and now serves his little town. I asked Mayor Williams to give us a little taste of what Rienzi is all about.
My population is 351 inside the city limit. But overall, we're talking about 1750, somewhere around there. And mostly, we just got convenience store, medical clinic, drugstore, and a service station. And hopefully, we're gonna have a Dollar General store coming in. I'm working on it. 95% of my people are all Christian people. And we have one race here. And when I say one race, that's brotherly love. I mean, we are a very close-knit family here. One for one and all for all. So, I feel real good here because we don't have no problem. Small, quiet, everybody know everybody, and it's fantastic.
So Mayor Williams, himself a veteran, decides to build a Veterans Memorial Garden right in the center of the town. He asks his senator, congressman, and a good friend for advice, and he puts it all together.
So I asked him, I said, look, I want to make sure that I'm going at this right. I want to put a Veteran Memorial Garden, but what if individuals come in and want to buy a brick for their grandfather that started this town, and he wasn't a veteran? He said, well, I'll tell you what I would do. I would name it the Rienzi Veteran and Memorial Garden. He said, that way, you got your bricks for your veteran, you got your bricks for your memorial. So I got that squared away. That was the first round. And then I went on to sketching it out. And I sketched it out on a legal pad and talked to my state representative, Tracy Arnold, and he worked on it, and we got the funds to build it. So it was a real successful thing. Right now we got 59. But it's gonna be 212, just veteran. That's how many bricks we got to take up, replace, and then once the last brick is put in there, we'll glaze it and seal it.
In addition to the brick, Mayor Williams put up 3 flags that meant a lot to him: the American flag, the Armed Forces flag, and a Christian flag. Now, it's a nice array of nation, military, and faith, but someone was snooping around.
I was approached by a young guy, asked me about my Christian flag. And we discussed it, and he asked me about putting a banner up of his flag, belief. No problem, I ain't got no problem with it. And it was a nice flag. It was just black with yellow initials in it. And it had the cross, the fish, Star of David, and all. So I let him hang it on the fence because it couldn't fly like, like my flag. But anyway, it went on for 2 weeks, no problem. Somebody came and took it down and walked off with it, and a week later, that's when I got the letter from Freedom from Religious. And it stated that they had been informed by a citizen that he couldn't fly his flag. And that wasn't the truth, because I let him put his flag up, but I didn't remove it. So I don't know who removed it, but that was the result that I got. So they proceeded to tell me that if I didn't remove mine, that the town was going to be liable for a $450,000 lawsuit. So that's when I contacted my attorney, and we did a rally on it, and I started getting calls in. And I talked to lawyers from all over the world, Christian lawyers, and they told me, what I need to do to be legal about it. One of the guys from Pittsburgh told me, he said, look, well, he said, what you did exactly right by taking it down right now until you get your ducks in a row. See, because now that was built out of state and federal taxpayer money. You walk into a court, you're gonna lose. He said, but what's your plan about going back? And I told him, he said, well, you can be a success there.
Once he took down the flag, the outpouring revealed to Mayor Williams the amount of support out there to hold the line. Rallies began to form in the city, and letters and phone calls were all coming in, all telling him to keep the flag where it was. So Walter Williams made plans to build a permanent concrete flagpole for his Christian flag just behind the memorial.
Just as soon as the weather permit my contractor to build my platform and let it dry, and then we can get the pole placed, and then I'm hoping to do it before the 15th of May. And I want to do a news thing where I can let the people in the vicinity know that when we go fly the flag again up and run it up. I want all of them that can come to be here when we run it up. It'll be higher than the flags that I got in the garden. And it'll be larger also.
So, aren't you a little afraid of the Freedom from Religion Foundation?
No, because this right here, they ain't gonna have nothing to say about that. That's not that spot where the flag is gonna be is not my property. It belonged to an individual. I deeded a lady that spot for $1. She owns it now. But the city don't own nothing where that flag, except the garden, that's it. The spot where the flag is at, it belonged to a private individual.
It was a brilliant move, Mayor. You know, many towns are doing this same exact thing. The atheist hate groups attack them for putting something Christian on a public property, crying separation of church and state. But the mayors simply sell the small plot of land to a local trustworthy individual. Now they can put up whatever they want. And I asked Mayor Williams what the response was around the nation.
Everything has been very, very supportive. I mean, people from the District of Columbus, you guys, Minnesota, it's not a state that hadn't responded to this call. And you know, back about 2 months ago, a month and a half, one weekend I was at home, and my brother called me and told me, he said, man, he said, do you know what the 2 top rated stories there today, this weekend? I said, no, what? They President Trump in Florida and Ryan the Christian flag, #2. Nobody even know about Ryan. Now it's #2 worldwide news for this weekend. We had a biker group that came in. I didn't even know about it until that Saturday morning. And it was about 50 or 60 guys riding bike with jackets on. And I came down, and I was like, how I got to racing, I said, I wonder if these guys with me or against me, because I didn't know. So I opened the office and went in, and the guy that was leading them came in and introduced himself. And he told me he had a lot of more people coming. They had flags everywhere, on the back of their bike, on the front, the four-wheelers. And that Saturday morning, we had about 400 or 500 people here. The streets were completely filled. And from that day to this one, they had, where the flags is at, you couldn't see the American flag, but all the rest of it, all over were Christian flags. And they had the signs, like what you see in there, in front of the wall. It was just, the support was fantastic. Yeah, the peoples of this town have put the signs in their front yard and flying flags from their houses.
Ironic, isn't it, that people like Walter Williams fought for freedom, and the very people he fought for were trying to take his away. It's what that monument really represented. And even that was attacked.
It fought for us to have our freedom that we got. You know, everybody that go to war or to the military, I take my hat off to them. Because if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't have the freedom that we have today. That's the reason I tell everybody, don't take freedom. Freedom don't come cheap. There's a lot of sisters and brothers paid the dearest price for that. That went and didn't come back. And you got a lot of them now that have came back, but they come back as a whole. One of the threats that the guys that went to fight and didn't come back, you was fighting for that cause, and you got these people that's fighting, might well be fighting with our enemy. So, you know, I don't understand it, I don't. Like I say, I just pray for them.
During battles like this, atheist groups dare cry, discrimination. Well, Walter, a black man in the South, knows a thing or two about discrimination. And I asked him if he thought this was really discrimination.
No. I mean, because if you got 26,000 there, 14 million like me, where do I say come in? Where do we speak? You know, I don't buy that. 14 million compared to 26,000. They want to speak. Where our choice at to speak? You know, I always thought majority rule. So discriminating would be, I don't know how you would term it, is that why can't we just go down the middle? You have your say and let us have our say. You know, we shouldn't have to go to a courtroom to defend that. If you want to be this way, that's your business. But don't try and stop me from going my way.
In June 2017, the permanent Christian flag went up with much fanfare in Rienzi, Mississippi. The problem was solved and the atheist hate groups went away. And that's America fighting for its freedoms. The fight continues, and you need to be informed. So follow us on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like this video and see more content coming your way. You can also read my book, Holding the Line, America's Fight for Religious Freedom, available on Amazon. Thanks for joining me. Keep holding the line.